So let's try this group by. You remember group by? For the purpose of group by? So let's say I want to find out. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
If you remember, I want to find out the total quantity, or the sum of the all the quantities by product. Okay, so primarily what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a function. Let's see if this works. Sum of product ID group by product ID. Yeah, so I am getting this, and I'll move this on the right, by the way, so it looks better. Okay, so I am getting the product ID and the total quantity by a product. So this is what is you're getting as the sum. So this is called as, this is what we had seen in group by. We had seen count, but there are quite a lot of other functions over there. I have not probably put sum over here, but sum is also there, and we can try the same thing with sum. Let me add it. You remember this? We had seen count. So here if I put count, I will get the count of records for this product ID. And I can sort this also. If I can put an order by to descending. So I'll get maximum quantity which is there, or which is rather maximum rows, or maximum records for a particular product which are there is this. I can add the sum along with this quantity. So I will get both of them together. So you notice the quantity is maximum, but the sum is need not be maximum. So now if I change this to 3, yeah, this is 458, then 430. So this gives me a better view that maximum quantity versus the number of records need not be, proportional. So you remember, you got an idea? You remember group by? Quickly try this one. So I suggest you type it, don't copy and paste it. I would suggest you type it yourself, so you'll get a better idea. Let me know if you're facing any issues. Any doubts, folks? Did you get this? Still trying. Alrighty. So can you try for count over here? I'm not sure if we did this last time. Count the records by employee ID or shipper ID. Okay, so this is again straightforward. This is for orders. By the way, if I don't give anything, right, count employee ID from orders, I will get a number. That is the number of records in that particular table. If I don't give anything around this, okay, if I just give count, I'm going to get everything. The complete total number of records which are there in the table, that is 196. So here if I group it by the shipper ID, I get 54, 74 and 68 because there are only three shipper IDs. can group the same by employee ID as well. By the way, I can even group it by both of them, employee ID as well as shipper ID. So if I say employee ID comma shipper ID, now I need to give group by 1 and 2. So I'll get a completely different view over here. To try this also, if I group by two variables, I need to specify both the variables. So here I need to specify employee ID and shipper ID. So if you're going to group by only by employee ID, right? So if I group by only employee ID, I am finding out the count of records by employee ID. Okay. So now if I do this, I take this, let me just copy this data. I'm going to get the same output in a way, but a different granularity. So if I filter on one employee ID, right? Let's say I take filter on one employee ID. See, the count is 29 over here. Total records are 29. And if I now remove the shipper ID from here and I run this, I'm still getting the count 29. But I am breaking that 29 that this employee ordered whatever quantity from 8 uh, uh, units for shipper 1, 8 units for shipper 2, and 13 units for shipper 3. That is what it means. Understood?
So, but if we keep saying both employee and shipper ID, but we group just by employee ID, then
That's what I've done. If I group only by employee ID, I'm going to get only total 29 records. That for this employee has 29 orders against his name. Make sense? 29 records against his name in this table. You see this employee has ordered on so and so date. So now let's say if I select employee ID to 1, that is what it is, right? 1. So I am seeing this employee has ordered 29 times. Yeah, you see this number 29 over here. You don't have the breakup because you're just getting the counts. So who is the most, the employee who orders the most, you'll get it from this count. All these records which you see, right, that is the details that he ordered on all these dates from this shipper. Make sense? Here you're just getting these numbers. You're getting the breakup of that data by a particular dimension. Does that clarify or no? Alrighty. So in the interest of time, right, I will suggest we try one. I suggest you try the others on your own. Okay. So that we can move forward. Is that fair? We'll try a couple of them and then we'll move forward. So we tried count. Now in the same way you can try max. We saw some also. We can try max. Let's go to MySQL. Here we want to find out the max shipping price. So I have orders. One second. I have orders over here, right? If I do this, I get my orders table. I want to find out the maximum shipping price, shipping cost or unit price. Yeah. So if I say this max of unit price, so I get the maximum. Right. So I get the maximum unit price over here, 6783. Okay, in the same way I can get the shipping cost, product base margin as well. So I can get the shipping cost. And I can get the product base margin as well. What is the max over there? 0.85 is the maximum. 85% is the maximum margin that you're getting. So this is just giving you one record. But now if I want to find this by region or by customer segment, right? If you see this, you want to find it by region or by customer segment. So I'll have to add region over here. So if I add region over here, again, the concept is same. Group by region. Okay. I can make this as max margin and I can run this. So I will get the maximum margin by a particular region. So most of them have 0.85. Only East has 0.84. This will not work if I don't put, if I don't put the region, if I don't put it this way, and if I do group by region, it still does it, but you don't know what is the, uh, for which does it belong to. You will not see it. Okay, and I can leave customer segment. So again, I get customer segment slight variance over here. So let's try this. Try one of them. Any doubt, anyone? Is this easier now?
So now in the same thing, if I do order by max margin, so
Yeah.
what will I get? It will get sorted ascending order, right? But it will be grouped by customer ID.
Yes. You'll get the maximum. This. It's the same, right? You get it.
Okay, understood.
You do order by 2 comma 1 also. The same. Right. So here earlier it was corporate, home office, small business. Now if I do by 1, I want it in alphabetical order. B, yes. So now I'm getting small business, home office, corporate. Understood? So I've ordered it by the name also. So let me know once you're done. Everybody done with max, one of the examples? All right. So like you have max, you just have to convert this into min. If I do min, I will get the minimum. And I'll make this minimum margin. Let me do this. Let me add another, rather than just add minimum margin. In the same thing, I added minimum. So I'm getting maximum, minimum, the range 0.35 to 0.85. And in the same way, I can even add average. So AVG is average. So I'm getting it in this way. Let me know once you have done this. Everybody got this? Average, minimum, maximum. You can see a slight variance between the margin range rather, but you see the difference average is 0.52. Obviously, I mean, all of them are near 0.52 only, zero point 0.5 rather, but there is a slight variance. For corporate, there is 0.51 margin, 517, 517 for consumer, and home office is 0.50. Even though the minimum and maximum margin is almost same for all of them, there is a difference in the average. You can even add the count of records, by the way. Yo. So now I can see, and I can put a sum. So if I divide this, right, I should be getting the answer. Let's see this. 200.2 is 85. 85. So you can see the difference. You can actually calculate this value. If you look at it, if you just see the screen for a second, you will see the total sum of this product based margin. I am calculating the count, the average, though I've used a function over here. I've used a function over here, right? Average. I can just divide these two and I'll get this value. So I'm getting the same average over here. I'm getting the minimum and the maximum. In actual, I can even add so after this average, right? I can even add this. I can do a sum upon the count, by the way. I can even use a formula. Divided by You see this? I'm getting the same thing. So let me do it this way. This is what I've done. I can move this up. I've merged. I'm kind of creating a summary of data in a way. And like I said, right, I've used the formula average, but you can define your own formula also. You want to multiply it, you want to add it, you can do it. Any doubts, folks? Did you guys get this? Are you facing any issues? Alrighty. So we did max, min, an average. We saw all three. We even saw the sum. Right? We saw all of these values, and you can try this. You can try all of these other examples. Okay. Recommend you try them. Now there is a concept of, like you have the where clause, there is something called as having. Okay, but that works only with group by, and the difference is when I use the where clause, right, it is before I am grouping all of this information. So let's say I remove all of this, okay, and I want to find out the, let's say, maximum unit price by customer ID. Okay, I want to find out the max unit price by customer ID. Okay, this is how it is. This is what I get. Now I want to find this only for specific customers. So where customer, so I'll do a where clause. Where clause, where customer ID in between 3 and let's say 30. Between 3 and how do you write between how was between this way. Second, sorry folks, I forgot the syntax. Yeah, this is what it is. What did I do wrong?
The brackets.
Close brackets. There's no bracket. Oh, I understood what I did wrong. Okay, I put the where clause before the from. So yes. So here, right, I am using where these values are more between 3 and 30. So I'm limiting my output. But let's say I want to find out only where the maximum unit price is above 200. Okay, I want to find only those records, or other 100. I want to find those records where the maximum unit price is over 100. That is where I will say having greater than 100. So I am getting the output where this final price, right, the maximum unit price which I have got, the group by value is more than a specific number. Does it make sense?
Yeah. So I have a doubt. I get very confused in this group by, order by. So if in this situation, if we don't write group by, what will happen?
It will not work. It's giving you only one record. It's going to give
You
you only
want
one.
all the records of customer IDs? Oh, okay.
No, I mean, this version is probably much better. When I was using SQL long time back, in terms of a program, this would throw an error. Without this group by, I would get a syntax error. Here, this is giving you a output. No, you can't do the same with where, because in the where, right, if I remove this having, I have no way of finding out what is the maximum unit price, because this max is an output over here. Ideally, you have only this unit price. You have only this unit price.
But so what if we write and then where again? Customer
And
ID, array, max unit price greater than 100. Then it'll work, no?
you want to write it over here.
And should be, huh, yeah. And where? No, and yeah, and max unit price greater than 100, yeah.
What is max unit price?
So maybe there's no group by, that's why it's coming.
That is the purpose. The group by, right? Max.
So this is what now it's working. That's what I wanted to ask. That
Not,
instead of writing having, if I just put and write unit price greater than 100.
this is max. That is why it's working that way. If I put sum, it will not work that way. Yeah. The purpose is, in case of max, it might work, but the purpose is you want to find out those records where this number, right? The number of records which are there. And if I, let's say, do this count, so in this case, right, there are 4 records over here. There are 2 records over here. There are 3 records and 2 records. In this case, there is 1 record, which is why it will work. But when you have large volume of data, it will not work in that sense, because having is applying a where clause after grouping the data. If I say having this value greater than 80, okay, so having sum of unit price greater than 80. This is what I get over here. Okay, you're saying I can't directly use that sum in the where clause. I can't use that and greater than 80. This will not work because this sum has not yet been formed. It's not part of the table. This is an output, that is an inference that you're creating from this table. So the difference between this having is used with group by on the inferred output, on the aggregate functions that we are seeing, right? Sum, average, count, max. You have to use having on that, not really on this customer ID and stuff. Make sense? You can try this also. I'll be back in a minute, alright? You guys get this? You understood having? Any doubts, folks? You're getting an error? Is that what you're saying? Can you show me what error you're getting?
Sir, is my screen visible?
No. Yeah. No, remove that sum of unit price. And some unit price, remove that. Now run it.
Oh, okay, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
So I was showing that error, right? That is why I think I copied that also.
Yes, sir.
So this should work. Okay, everybody got it now? All right. Now we'll see something called as like, the like operator. This is used in texts. Okay, so if I see this right, first one, I want to find out all orders, or rather, I want to find out all the orders or products related to keyboards, orders for all keyboards. Okay, can't see my screen. Okay, yeah, sorry. Can you see my screen now? We want to find, yes, we want to find out all the, so you notice this product name that has a lot of information over here. I want to find out orders which are related to keyboards. I want to find out all orders related to keyboards. So I can do that using the like operator, in where product name like. So you have to give this percentage symbol and say keyboard. Like this keyboard. So I will get all the orders which are related to keyboards. You notice wherever there is a keyboard in the sentence, it is finding that. Understood? This is the purpose of a like operator. So if I make this S, I'm not getting anything because it is matching for the word keyboards. There is nothing like keyboard. Let's just try with a capital K. Still works. Okay, so it is finding the word keyboard in this entire list of product names. Now the purpose of this percentage symbol indicates that I want to find out, if I give it this way, right? It means that the word is going to start with the keyboard and anything after that. That is what is the purpose of percentage. If I put a percentage over here and I remove the percentage in the end, it is going to find out products where the last word is the keyboard. The products, so you notice over here 40 records are found. So the last word is the keyboard over here. In all of these records, the last word is the keyboard. And if I put a percentage symbol in the end, I will get all the records wherein the keyboard is there in this entire database for this particular column. Understood how to use the like operator? In the same way, I can find out customers whose name starts with an A. Right, if I want to find out all the product names which start with an A, I will remove the percentage symbol in the beginning. So all the products, the names which are there, right, they are going to be starting with an A. So you notice they are all starting with an A. 256 rows, all starting with an A. If I want to find out all products which end in a Z, there's no product which ends with a Z. Okay, if I want to find out A, there's only one product whose name ends with a A. Wow, heavy duty transfer file systems. Very nice. Understood the purpose of a like operator as well as the percentage symbols. So can you try it? Try the first one. Try this rather. How many keyboards are from Belkin? Try this. How many keyboards are from Belkin? Let me know. Any doubt, folks? Did you get it? No? Why did you not get it? What did you do?
Then I didn't get it.
Okay, what did you do? So the product name should be keyboards. You got keyboards. Yes, you
I
got.
wrote keyboard.
So see, these are the keyboards, right? These are the keyboards
Yeah.
which you have. Huh? Now what is the ask? I want to find out keyboards which are from Belkin.
Huh.
Huh? So I want to find out these keyboards which are from Belkin. So I will write, did you get this first of all? Did you get the first aspect? Where
Yep.
product name like keyboard. And product name like Belkin. So now I'm getting all records related to Belkin and keyboards.
I put a comma and I wrote Belkin. I didn't write the whole sentence again.
How can you do that? No, you can't use having. Having is for group by functions only. This is not group by, no? This is a very clause, straightforward. You know, in NLP, if you remember in NLP, what you're trying to do, you're trying to search for keywords, right? If you remember, we had searched for multiple keywords in a particular, and you were getting a paragraph output. Here, in this, you are just trying to search for two keywords, okay? Which is where you have to use this and product name like keyboard and product name like Belkin. So I am trying to find out the word Belkin. It should have Belkin as well as keyboard. If I want to find out enhanced keyboards, and we'll say enhanced. Now I'm getting only three records, that these are the orders for Belkin 107 key enhanced keyboard PS2 interface. Make sense? That you have to use this and.
So will it make any difference if I put Belkin first and keyboard next?
No, it should not make any difference.
21 rows is what I got with Belkin and keyboard. I don't know if it's correct or wrong.
You did this?
Yeah. I did Belkin first and keyboard later.
It should not make a difference. I'm getting 11. Can you show your query?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, sir, can you see?
Yeah.
If I count this, then it's
Got
11 only. But if I look at this command here, action output.
No, you see the last row, right? 37 is what is the output.
Acha, here, this one. Okay, okay. Sorry, sorry.
All that glitters is not gold. So. Everybody got it? So, let me ask you one more thing, okay? Let me tell you. Okay, can you find out which are the orders which have envelopes and calculator. I want both these orders, envelopes and calculators. Can you find that out? I want you to find out products which are envelopes, calculators. Both these products. Product name, by the way, these are product names. Can you show the query? What did you use? Very nice. You have to use OR. Use this also. No, not in, like. Enter.
So,
Yes.
so I also did the same, but I did not get output for calculator. I just got it for envelope.
Can you show what you have written?
Yes, sir. Sir, is my screen visible?
No, not yet.
So now,
I see a black screen.
sir, I'll put the query in the chat box.
Yes. You use calculators. Remove the S.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
All right. Cool. So now, right, we have seen a lot of operators. We are going to be seeing which are some inbuilt functions which are there in SQL. Okay. So when I say inbuilt functions, let me share my screen. In Excel, right, you have these functions, lower, you have these functions, upper, string functions, you have date functions, you have quite a lot of these functions which are there. So I want to find out of which are these functions, right? You see there are so many functions over here which I've written over here. What we're going to try is we're going to try some of them. Most of them, what you might get to use are string functions and date functions, and there will be a lot of other functions which are there. So go to help, click on help index, and it'll open a page over here. This is the reference manual, by the way. And within this, let me know once this is open. Do you see a page like this open? Did you get this page? Go to help and click on help index, or you can just press F1. Let me know if you see this page. Everybody sees it? Yes or no? Alrighty. On the left, right, this is a manual where you can search for a lot of stuff. So in the left, you will see an option called functions and operators. Below data types, you will see an option called functions and operators. If click on this symbol, functions and operators, and you'll see a list. So here you will see this numeric function, date and time function, string functions. So if I click on this numeric function, you will see arithmetic operators, mathematical functions. Okay. We saw this division operator. We saw this division. In the same way, there are addition, subtraction, quite a lot of other things, modulus. Okay, so I'm not getting into all those details. Mathematical functions, ceiling, floor, the number you want to floor if you want to make it into the smallest integer, right? All that, whatever you have seen in Excel, square root, tan, power, whatever you have seen in Excel, right? You can do that over here. So let's say if I want to say select square 200. You see, I get this output. I just wrote select square root of 200. So I'm getting an output over here. So this is a function which I can use in my select statement as well, or even in that matter in my where clause. Select. So if I type, right, does this work? Yes, 200 raised to 2. ये तो कुछ और ही आया. Power. Here I have done a square, 200 raised to 2. Raised to 2, 16. 25 raised to 2, 625. So these are all functions. These are all mathematical functions which you see over here. Okay, which you might want to use at some point. So we are going to first look at string functions. We'll look at the date and time functions, and we'll look at some of the mathematical functions later. So let's say in my data which I have, select star from US dot. Okay, and I want the product name as capital. I want the product name as all capital. So I will say the product subcategory is all capital. Sub. I'm getting it this way. And let's say I want only the unique values, by the way. So there is a function called as distinct. Do you remember using distinct? Did we talk about distinct? I'm getting all the unique values. Did you see distinct? Or distinct. I'm getting all the unique values, and I want all these values as uppercase. So I will say upper. Why is this not working? Work. Let me do it the other way around. Yes, now this works. So what I have done, I remove the distinct for a minute, and I have got the names as uppercase. All the names as uppercase, but I want only the unique values. So I do distinct. Got it? And I can sort this also, by the way, order by. So I get all the names of these product subcategories as uppercase. Can you try this? Like you have upper, you have lower. So instead of uppercase, if I want all lowercase, I can do it this way. I get lower. So try this. You get this? Very good. Now let's say I want to find out the first name of this customer. You see, I have the first name. In some cases, I have a middle initial. Let's say I just want to find out the first name. Okay. How would you do this in Excel? If I have this data in Excel, how would you do it? If I have data which says something like this is first name and last name. How do I do this? Using a formula, not really a text to columns. What left? What? What left? What should I do now? This is my text. Then what? And this formula has to work for everybody. All the cells. Same formula.
Sir, can you please repeat the question, sir?
I want to find out the first name. I want in this cell, I want the first name. The cell which I've highlighted now, I want the first name from here. So here should come A, B, C, D. Here Harish should come. How do I do that? Using one formula which is common for both of them.
Sir, before the space, something like that we can do.
But what do you will write?
Uh,
How will you find the space? The space, and then if I say left, ideally I should do -1 because there is a character coming over there. But I go with this for now. I can do left, I can do mid, right? I can do all of this. This formula will work over here also, A, B, C, D also.
So can you show it again? Left, what did you do?
Characters, number of characters over here. Or I can even do mid, the text, the start number, ending number. Getting the same output.
So ये 7 कैसे आया?
7 तो लेंथ है. 7, this 7 is the location. You're searching for a character over here. You're searching for space. So this is the position wherein you are finding the space. Understood? Remove this. You understood the logic that I want to find out this first name. That means I have to separate it by space. To do that, I have to first find the position of where the space is. Right? So I will search for, I can use search, I can use find. I think there is find also, right? Find this, find a space within this text, first starting point. So I'm getting this value. I can use search, find whatever I want to. Okay, clear till here? So I found out that the space is at the 7th position in this data. Yeah. Now I will use a string function which is there in Excel. I can use mid. Okay, so returns the character from the middle of a string given a starting position and length. So I know my string is this. The starting position is 1. I have to find the name from the beginning. And the number of characters is this, 7 characters. So I get my name. In the same formula, I will get ABCD. Understood? Okay. Now we're going to try the same thing in SQL. We're going to try the same thing in SQL. The logic is still the same. So let's, in this name, right, I want to find out the first name for all the customers. So let's first just select the customer name. Try it with me. Just select the customer name. So I have the customer name. Can you write this query and let me know you've done, you've got this query. Everybody got this query? Very straightforward. You're just selecting the customer name, nothing more, nothing less. Everybody got this query? Good. All right. Now let's go back to our search over here, the manual that we saw, right? And we'll go to string function. We'll click on the string functions, and let's see if we find a function which we can use. Do you see any function which you could use? Do you see anything? My mouse is almost there. You see this locate? Yes. So I'll click on this locate. I'll give an example. So here, right, it's telling me locate bar in this. That is the syntax of how I want to use locate. So the first thing we'll do is we'll say comma, and I'll use the function locate. And I'm going to say space, searching for the space in this customer name. So here I am getting this position. So I make it as position. Can you write this? Locate. Just look at the syntax, how it is over here. Locate bar in foo bar, whatever it means, right? So here I am finding a space, a single space in customer name. So for every customer name, I am getting a position over here. This is the first space rather. Okay, this is the first space that you're getting. Let me know if you got this. You guys got this? You are able to use locate? Okay. Now we'll go to the next step. Once you've got locate, right, now we want to find out, is there any function which can help me extract that information? It can help me extract the data. Okay, so you see left, I can use left. It is also there over here. Left is there. I can use mid, return a substring. I can use, there is substring also if I'm not mistaken, return a substring as specified, or substring or sub str. Okay, so let's try left. Okay, so left over here is, I have to give this text and then phi. So I'm going to use left. Now understand one thing, I have to use this again in the sense, the input is my customer name. So I need to write customer name over here. And the next thing is my position. So I need to give this locate again over here. I can't use the space pause just as is, right? As I do this and I run this. So now I am getting the first name. Understood what I did, or do you want me to repeat what I did? I have to use this function again. Left of space from customer name. Yes. Return the leftmost number of characters as specified. So yes, left of customer name. So customer name is on the, starting from the left, 7 characters is going to count. Did you get this? Get it till here? You got the first name? Do you guys get this one? Were you able to get this? Any doubts? Alright. Now there's one more thing. Let me find out the length of this entire thing, right? The only thing I'm doing now is finding out the length. There is a function called length, length, comma, length as length of first name. Lazy. What did I do? So I'm getting the length. So, but if you count, right, if you count the name is actually 6 characters. So there are two ways of fixing this. This name is 6 characters. Okay. So either I put a -1 over here. -1 should do it, right? I have to put a -1 over here also. I'll get this 6 characters. Okay. So I put a -1 over here, or the other is to use a function called as trim. You know trim, the trimming the text. Remove the text from this. Make sense? Understood what I did? So you let me go back to my Excel sheet. So here, right, if I see the length, if I do trim, so you see it removes all spaces from a text string except for single spaces between words. So from the beginning and the end, it is going to remove those spaces. Now if I check the length, it is 6. There is a space in the end, right? So if I just copy and paste it, paste special values. So I see this space in the end. I don't want this space in the end. So either I change this formula wherein I say length -1. So now if I copy and paste it, right, there is not going to be any space over here. So if I copy and paste this now, you see there is no additional space which has come in the end. Because when we gave this length as 7, it took it till this space, which is why it is giving you that value till that space. But we don't want that number. Understood? So I use the function trim. I can use ltrim. Ltrim is to trim the space on the left. Rtrim is to trim the space on the right. Okay, so I can use trim or rtrim over here. If I want it, I copy this and I say rtrim. So you notice the number is now 6 because I have removed the space at the end. Instead of this rtrim, I can use trim also. So trim will remove the space at the beginning as well as the end. Make sense? You might be seeing this for the first time, so you might find it a little complicated, but it's pretty straightforward if you understand the logic. So in the end, right, I don't want all of this, whatever I have given, right, I will just write, oops, what happened? Customer name and this. This is all what I'll get. You don't need to, I just was explaining all the steps which we follow, and I have just written the first name like this. Ultimately, this is the function that you will use, which is a combination of quite a lot of these functions, and you will get the first name. Yes, so tell me, how will you do it for the last name? That was my question. You want to count the space from the right, but there is a catch. How will you do it for this one? How will you do it for this one? What will you do for this? See here, right? Bonnie Potter, Ronnie Proctor. There are only two words. But in this case, there is Tyson. I cannot pronounce the first name. F and Tyson. Right? The first name, middle initial, and the last name. Yeah, but how do you find the position? Tell me that. How will you find out the position for the space? Is there any function you see over there? In this list, do you see any function which you can use? Do you see any function? Sorry. Any idea how would you do it? So I have this name. Right? I have this. I do it this way. I reverse this. I mean, ideally, I should. What should happen? My string gets reversed. And now, if I find the space, right, it's the same thing I have to do. Only thing in the end I will do. Should what I did. You got the idea what I've done? I have reversed this entire string. Okay, using this text reverse function, I reverse the entire string. So here, when I have this value, okay, I have this value, and let's say I keep this as is. I'm opening a new SQL, and I use the function reverse. Customer name. Okay. And in this locate, instead of customer name, I am going to give reverse customer name.
So,
Yes.
sir, if the space is in the middle, why didn't we use the mid, and why do we have to reverse it and get it?
No, because mid is not going to give you the output. I'll explain. Give me a second. Let me just complete this, then I'll come back to that. And just give me 1 second. I reverse this. I'm using this as input. So everywhere I use, right, I have to use reverse. Let me not complicate this. Okay, so I got the last name like this, Potter and Tyson. And the first name was this. I don't need the reverse name by the way. So I'm getting both those names because I used a function for that. Now your question was why can't I use mid, right? Can I use mid? Is that what your question was?
Yes.
Now even if I use mid, right, what is going to happen is in my string, so here I'll show that to you. In my string, if I use mid and let's say I use the length, total length of this is 17. Okay. And in this case, if I use mid, this is my text. What is my start position is this and end position like this. Because I have done a reverse, I don't want to do a reverse. So I'll say mid, I'll say search, text, space, this text, starting position 1. And I will do game. You see, I'm getting C Rijwani. I'm getting the middle initial also. Middle initial mid is not that it is going to skip the middle position or anything. It is telling you that you have to give me the start position and the end position. That's it. That is what it is telling you. Without that,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah.
Sir, so why do we have to reverse this? I'm not getting this. Why do we have to reverse the thing?
Because I want to count it from the right. I want to count this space, I want to find the first space from the right. And I make it this way, right? I am going to count it. So if I just, let me just copy this formula over here. And I do this. Now I am getting the same output from the right because I want to count the space from the right. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Which is why I reversed the string. I was not able to find a function which can count a space from the right hand side. If I have a function which can count a space from the right like this, then it makes sense. And if there are, what you can also do is you can even find out if there are two more than one space. That would mean that there is a middle initial in the name. But there's every possibility that the name also has a middle initial, which is why it makes sense to find out, to reverse it and find out that particular space. Make sense?
Okay, sir. Okay, got it. Okay.
Because instead of, if I start counting from left, right, I will not get the right output. I will get C Rijwani like this. Or what I will have to do is, if I have a, in this, right, I got this mid. Now in this again, I will find out the space. So I'll do a trim also. In this, so it removes any text which is there. Now in this, I search for a text. This is at the second position. So now I can do mid. Yes. Starting position. Yes. Number of characters. I get this. I can do it this way also, but it's a little bit more complicated than just using it, right? Understood? So there are multiple ways of finding this. So I want you to think. So first of all, there are quite a lot of functions over here. So we looked at ltrim, rtrim. The way, same way you use mid, you can use substring. Okay. I want you to try some of these functions. We will try them again next time. I want you to try some of these functions. We use length. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight them. We use this ltrim. In the same way, you can use rtrim. In this case, we used, where is it? Yeah, so here, right, I can use rtrim also. Instead of trim, I can use rtrim if I want to. Okay, because there is a space in the end. Is it not? Sorry. We saw this. We saw mid. Rather, we did not see it over there, right? Did we see it in SQL? We saw left and right. It's not listed over here. But instead of that, you can actually use. Yeah, so let me put that over left. You can actually use this mid and substring. Okay, we saw this length, we saw this locate. Okay, you can even replace a text if you want to. So I want you to try some of these on your own, but we will see them again next time. So hopefully we'll be able to complete all these functions next time so that we can move to another topic. Mostly it should take us 3 sessions to complete this. I mean everything, whatever is remaining. All right. Any questions, folks? I want you to try some of these. You will be able to search it over here in your string functions. If you go right at the top, you will get a list. If you want to look at the date functions, you will get it under date and time functions. Make sense? Alrighty. So till next time, I request you to try some of them, and hopefully we should be good. You guys are, I'm hoping you're getting a hang of it. The more you try, the more you will understand it, and obviously the more you use it rather, the more you will understand it. Okay folks, any questions? कोई विशेष टिप्पणी? By the way, you can even get current date if you just want to look at current date, right? It's pretty simple. You want to find out today's date. I just write select current date like this, CUR date or current date, or if I want to do current timestamp, you get the date and the timestamp. This is of your obviously machine that you will get, 1203 that you're getting over here with the seconds. Cool. Anything else, folks? Are we good for now? If nothing else, thank you so much. We'll connect again soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.